Good evening. Today I'm going to bring a bottle. I should have brought a lot earlier. I've had it open for some time, but I've been working on a little more lately than I have been. But it's a unique bottle. It's Bushmills Prohibition Recipe Irish Whiskey Prohibition Blend by order of the Shelby Company Limited. Non-chill filtered, 46% alcohol by volume, 92 proof. By order of Shelby Company Limited, limited edition, the old Bushmills Distillery Company. Now, this is a movie-inspired whiskey for the Peaky Blinders, which was a movie that was on. That Bushmills did this whiskey for. Anyway, it brings a little bit more proof than your average Bushmills. And I'm unsure if I've ever done a video on Bushmills, to tell you the truth. A review of it. Get a little bit more in there. Come on now. So, what we're going to do is, we're not only going to do this, there is no age statement on this that I could find, other than it says aged for a minimum of 3 years. So, and I don't know if they make it anymore. I haven't seen it around. But I went and I bought an older, little smaller 375 of Bushmills. Straight, original Bushmills, triple distilled, oldest whiskey, licensed whiskey, world's oldest licensed whiskey distillery. It's 40% alcohol by volume. And we're going to do this as kind of a sort of maybe comparison between the two. So, still try to keep it as short and concise as I can, and my nose is starting to itch for whatever crazy reason. I don't know why, but they are. Scoot the balls back a little bit so stay within frame if I can. All right. Let's start with the original Bushmills. Let's turn that around. The glass, on glass. It definitely gives you the alcohol note on it. It's some caramel. It's a light caramel note. It's mainly, that's all on the nose. I mean, it's kind of bland in a lot of ways. It don't even bring much of a malty note to it. It's just kind of a sweet caramel note. A slight amount of burnt sugar maybe. And that, lack of a better word, distillate nose. More like a fresh distillate nose on it. This one nose-wise. A lot of the same nose. I mean, but you tend to get a little bit more of that. My nose is itching tonight. Malty note to it. A little more vanillas in this one than that one. Get more of the caramels, vanillas. You still do get some of the distillate nose. That's all I'm really getting. So cheers everyone. I'll start with the regular first. Hot. Very grainy note. the caramel sweetness. The grainy note really the grains are heavy in that. You really get the grain whiskey in that coming at you. That's not a bad thing, but it's just kind of blah. Get a grainy note, some sweetness, some caramel notes. It's just a very plain, simple whiskey. I don't get no spiciness on it, no fruitiness, definitely no smokiness or nothing like that. That's not going to come through on an Irish anyway. And the caramels are not very they're not a rich caramel note on it. Not at all. It's just a real light caramel note mixed with grain whiskey. Simple, easy. I mean, you can drink it, but it's really not gonna, doesn't do a lot for me. Cheers. I see with this one get more vanillas. You still get some of that graininess, but you get more of a malt note that comes through on this one. It has a much more malty presence, a much more malty backing on it. It's got more single malt. I'm sure it's a blend of single malt, pot still, and column still. Probably unmalted grain distillate. So you're getting that because that's adding the vanillas to this. It's adding vanillas to it. You still get the caramels. You do still get the graininess to it. The graininess didn't disappear. It's not as blatantly involved as it is in this one. This one probably has a little bit more age on it than that one. And you can really notice if you try between the two. With this one, there's a light, try it one more time. An ever so light lemony note to it. Think of bitter lemon, bitter pithy lemon. You do get that on that. All in all, though, that's the difference between the two. I paid substantially more money between what would be this one and this one. Do not ask me. I cannot remember what I paid for either one of them, for that matter. But I bought it mainly because it's been Pinky Blinders. But I do like sipping on this one. But I watched the whole series and I thought it was a good series, and seen that and I thought, I could have it. Anyway, that's what I get for the two. Score wise, that's a 78. I'm still can't go extremely high on that. I think it's a much better whiskey than that one. This is a 84. That's an 84. I like the bitter lemon. It helps add a little more flavor to it. Mix that with the vanilla that you're getting with it. It helps it a lot. But as far as sit and drinkability, this is not a, I mean, it is because I do it, but it's not a preferential grab. I'm drinking most of it now because I just want to get it gone. But 84 is a fair score for it. I think it is anyway. Anyway, so, excuse me. This just says aged for a minimum of 3 years on it as well. I just now noticed that on the back. So, the 40 to 46% is the main difference, but there's more pot still influence in this one. I do like the old glass, the kind of blue colored glass on this. It's nostalgically, this is, again, the marketing was done well on this. It's very well marketed. And it's not bad whiskey, it's just not good whiskey. This is not as good a whiskey. I've never liked standard Bushmills. I've had it a couple different times in my past. It usually gets poured with something else and mixed with something else, and just to get moved along. That's why I wouldn't buy a full 750 of that one. All right, I've talked long enough. 7884. Remember, the spirit in the glass ain't running from you. Take your time, sip, and enjoy it. You'll be better for it, like we all will. Everyone have a wonderful evening.